Warriors Into the Wild by Aaron Hunter. Chapter 5. Hey Firepaw, wake up! Greypaw's meow broke into Firepaw's dream. He had been chasing a squirrel up and up into the topmost branches of a tall oak. Training begins at sunrise. Dustpaw and Sandpaw are already up, Greypaw added urgently. Firepaw stretched sleepily, then remembered. Today was his first day of training. He leapt to his paws. His drowsiness evaporated as excitement surged through his veins. Greypaw was giving himself a hasty wash. Between licks, he meowed, I've just spoken to Lionheart. Ravenpaw won't be training with us till his wound is better. He'll probably stay at Spotted Leaf's den for another day or two. Dustpaw and Sandpaw are on hunting duty, so Lionheart thought you and I could train with him in Tiger Claw this morning. We'd better hurry, though, he added. They'll be waiting. Greypaw led Firepaw quickly through the gorse entrance of the camp and headed up the steep side of the rock-strewn valley. As they climbed over the crest of the ravine, a cool breeze ruffled their fur. Fat white clouds raced across the blue sky overhead. Firepaw felt fierce joy well up inside him as he followed Greypaw down a tree-shaded slope and into the sandy hollow. Tiger Claw and Lionheart were indeed waiting, sitting a few tail lengths apart on the sun-warmed sand. In future, I expect you both to be punctual, growled Tiger Claw. Don't be too severe, Tiger Claw. It was a busy night last night. I expect they were tired. Meowed Lionheart gently. You have not yet been assigned a mentor, Firepaw, he went on. For now, Tiger Claw and I will share your training. Firepaw nodded enthusiastically, his tail head high, unable to disguise his delight at having two such great warriors as his mentors. Come, meowed Tiger Claw impatiently. Today we are going to show you the edges of our territory so that you know where you will be hunting and what boundaries you need to protect. Greypaw, it won't do you any harm to remind yourself of the clan's outer limits. Without another word, Tiger Claw leapt up and bounded out of the sandy hollow. Lionheart nodded to Greypaw, and they took off with equal speed. Firepaw scrambled after them, his paws slipping on the soft sand. The trees were thick in this part of the forest, birch and ash trees overshadowed by mighty oaks. The great warriors completed. The ground was carpeted with crisp, dead leaves that rustled beneath their paws. Tiger Claw paused to spray his scent on a thick clump of ferns. The other cat stopped beside him. There's a two-legged path here, murmured Lionheart. Use your nose, Firepaw. Can you smell anything? Firepaw sniffed. There was the faint scent of a two-leg and the stronger smell of a dog, familiar to him from his old home. A two-leg has walked his dog along here, but they are gone now, he mewed. Good, meowed Lionheart. Do you think it is safe to cross? Firepaw sniffed again. The odors were weak and seemed overlaid with fresher forest smells. Yes, he replied. Tiger Claw nodded, and the four cats stalked out from beneath the ferns and crossed the sharp stones of the narrow two-leg path. The trees beyond were pine. They grew tall and straight, row after row. It was easy to walk silently here. The ground was thick with layers of dead needles, which prickled against Firepaw's pads, but felt spongy underneath. There was no undergrowth here to hide in, and Firepaw sensed tension in the other cats as they stalked unprotected between the tree trunks. Two Legs put these trees here, meowed Tiger Claw. They cut them down with foul-smelling creatures, which spew enough fumes to make a kit go blind. Then they take the fallen trees to the tree-cutter place that lies near here. Firepaw stopped and listened for the roar of the tree-eater, which he had heard before. The tree-cut place will be silent for a few more moons, until the time of Greenleaf, explained Greypaw, noticing his pause. The cats padded on through the pine forest. Two-Leg Place lies in that direction, meowed Tiger Claw, flicking his thick tail to one side. No doubt you can smell it, Firepaw. Today, however, we will head the other way. Eventually, they reached another two-leg path that marked the far edge of the pine forest. They quickly crossed over into the safe bushes of the oak woods beyond, but Firepaw still sensed anxiety in the other cats. We're approaching RiverClan territory, whispered Greypaw. The Sunning Rocks are over there. He pointed with his soft muzzle to a treeless mound of boulders. Firepaw felt his fur stand on end. This was where Redtail had been slain. Lionheart stopped by a flat gray rock. This is the boundary between ThunderClan and RiverClan territory. RiverClan rules the hunting grounds beside the Great River. He meowed. Breathe deeply, Firepaw. The pungent smell of unfamiliar cats hit the roof of Firepaw's mouth. He was surprised how different it smelled from the warm cat scents of ThunderClan camp, and he was also surprised to realize just how familiar and comforting the ThunderClan scent seemed to him already. That is the smell of RiverClan, Tigerclaw growled beside him. Remember it well. It will be strongest at the boundary because their warriors will have scent marked the trees along here. With these words, the Dark Tabby lifted his tail and sprayed his own mark on the flat rock. We'll follow this boundary line, as it leads straight to the 4 trees, Lionheart meowed. He set off quickly away from the sunning rocks, followed by Tigerclaw, Greypaw, and Firepaw trotted after them. He set off quickly away from the sunning rocks, followed by Tigerclaw. Greypaw and Firepaw trotted after them. What is 4 trees? Firepaw panted. It is where the territories of all 4 clans meet, replied Greypaw. There are 4 great oaks there, as old as the clans. Be quiet, ordered Tigerclaw. Don't forget how close we are to enemy territory. The 2 apprentices fell silent, and Firepaw concentrated on walking silently. They crossed a shallow stream, keeping their paws dry by leaping from boulder to boulder across the pebbly river. By the time they reached 4 trees, Firepaw was feeling completely out of breath, and his paws ached. He wasn't used to traveling so far and so fast. He was quite relieved when Lionheart and Tigerclaw led them out of the thick woods and stopped at the brow of a bush-covered slope. It was sun-high now. The clouds had cleared and the wind had dropped. Below, in the dazzling sunlight, stood 4 enormous oaks, their dark green crowns reaching almost to the top of the steep slope. As Greypaw told you, meowed Lionheart to Firepaw, this is 4 trees, where the territories of all 4 clans meet. WindClan governs the high ground ahead of us, where the sun sets. You won't be able to catch their scent today. The wind is blowing toward them, but you'll learn it soon enough. And ShadowClan holds power over there, in the darkest part of the forest, added Greypaw, flicking his head sideways. The elders say the cold winds from the north blow over the ShadowClan cats and chill their hearts.